Hello, my Super Doji Films. Today we're taking a look at the SH Monsterarts Godzilla 2024 Evolved version from Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. And here's the figure itself, and I have some things to say about it. First and foremost, I changed the format yet again after a month ago with this guy. So, let's start off about this thing. So I got this from Awesome Collector, which he's no longer available, sorry. Big Bad Toaster is your best bet. Amazon, other, I think Entertainment Earth has them too. I'm not sure. But would you really want this thing? Now, there's controversy with quotes with this being one, the quality on it. Like, I will pop up a photo eventually or here of the eyes on my copy. Now, let's look at my copy's eyes. I don't have any. I put like pink on them. They're not the best, but I live with it. And I plan to do the teeth, but right now, I do not want it. Also, my jaw's crooked. But I have no clue. And yeah, see? Pink. But it's mostly the head. The teeth paint is not great, the eye painting especially. And then like the painting on the feet. It looks like he went like this. Or like concrete, if you know, you know. But it's not even I'll say this, it's not a bad figure. There is issues, yes, the painting and the range, but we'll talk about the range later. But right now, let's talk about the head. Let's talk about the sculpt and paint. Since we already talked about the head, we're gonna move down the neck. The neck is really nicely done. Somewhat, there's some greenish. These are really nice. I sometimes just plastered on, which is not the best. One thing I really like is the spike paint. The paint on the spikes. I really do like it. They do look really nice. It's just green, really green. Especially the chest and the hands are. The painting on this guy is not the best. But again, your copy may vary. My copy's body paint, mostly the head is ruined. The head is just not great, so I plan to get a custom head eventually. Don't know when I'm going to do that eventually. But the sculpt is nice too. Not accurate. Okay, we get it. Who cares? None of like some of the Monsterverse stuff is not accurate. Like one that's really accurate is maybe, which something fell. It's Godzilla, which he has a nice paint job, and there was an issue with him. He broke, so he's a little loose. But for right now, the most accurate is probably the Monsterverse Godzilla, which is surprising because that figure's he's decent. I don't want to say he's bad, but the painting on sculpting on this guy paint's awful, but the sculpting is really nice. I do like it. Now let's go into articulation. And this guy has a lot. Ooh, sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. This guy has a lot. Third most articulated figure in my collection, but let's get into it. Starting at the head, you can look up that far and look down that far. I hate this so much. You can't look up. You can't look up. You can look side to side, up. Not much. Really nice ball joint. I really like how it feels. Shoulders can go out that far, in, up. Leg can shift because of the ball joint. Arm can go out. Bicep swivel. Bend at the elbow. Let's bring in an old figure. Let's bring in G19. Okay, here's the elbow bend on Evolved. These are ball joints. These are hinges. Pretty much a fully right angle, and this is not even full 90 degrees, sorry. And that's not even 90, but it's not terrible because, like, again, ball joints, they can move. This, you gotta be careful. They only can go like swivel, bend, and another swivel. Also, his wrist's broke, so he can still swivel, just can't move up and down. Ball joints to the wrist. Ball joint at the waist, or torso, upper torso. Ball joint at the base, and you can crunch and not really go back, but it leads into an issue of a gap, which can be fixed for decent, I guess. Not really the best gap. Now let's move it to legs. He can kick that far. He can try to swivel, but not really. And then not that far back. He can kick really far. Really nice knees, better than the previous Monsterverse figures. But ooh, I did not mean to drop you. There's ball joints here and in the thigh, calf, ball joint in the ankle. This is covered, so it's not really a separate piece. And then a ball joint at the ankle. And then the tail. Fully articulated all the way up to the end of the tail. So he is really nicely posable in English. And you can get him into some nice poses. It's just the issues he has. Can't look up. The range is limited. Okay. And his mouth can't really open, which I'll get into another point. So, G19 has a ball joint at the jaw. Okay, this is like the mold itself has been used since 2019. It's been degrading. I can't really show G21 because he's no longer with me. But his head, ball joint at the jaw, you have to remove the jaw to do a beam. He is different. You have to, I'll show you. That is not ball jointed, it's a membrane hinge, I call it. Which you gotta put it really carefully back in. Ooh. And this is how far it can really open. I could mod it, but again, I don't want to ruin it. He's not the only one in my collection that does it. Mr. Minus Goji here has issues where it's the same thing. Also, I don't mind this thing anymore. He's fine. Yeah, but it's loose. This I like, but oh, it's decent, I guess. Uh-oh. Nah, nothing happened. We're good. And let's get into size comparisons, I guess, because we gotta talk about this thing a little bit longer. But let's go into size comparisons. Here's Evolved next to the -1 minus color Godzilla, the SH Monsters Godzilla 2019, the SH Monsters Kong 2021 event exclusive, which I gave a nice little gray beard to, the SH Monsters Mecha Godzilla 2002, the Playmates Evolved energized version, and the Movie Monster Series Evolved. And finally, here's Monsters Evolved next to the Haya Toys Exquisite Basic Re-Evolved or Pre-Evolved. Yeah, he's tiny next to a Haya, but he's honestly a good scale for the Monsterarts. Not terrible, actually. He only comes with hands, but I'm not counting those like accessories. So, no accessories. Such a shame. Is this thing worth $130 to $140? No. But can I say 100? 115? Yeah. This thing's decent. Not groundbreaking like other. I think groundbreaking was like G19. Brand new sculpt, brand new mold, and just a better head sculpt, and then it evolved into 2021 having a goofy head sculpt. Well, no, theme thermo. But those aren't going to be talked about just yet. But for now, let's talk about the comparisons this guy's getting to that Haya Toys that has yet to release. In my Monsterarts is better than Haya Toys situation is crazy video, I did sound like I was glazing Haya, which I'm sorry if I was. I do prefer what Haya does a lot more than Monsterarts, but it doesn't mean I hate Monsterarts. Monsterarts does banger figures, like their Kong. He's not gonna stay. Their Kong's really good. Their -1, sure, he has issues, but he's a decent figure. I plan to get the reissue. And don't get me started on like one of, if not the best ones I own, Kiryu. He'll get his own review. But there is an option to get it cheaper. or want to get the Monsterarts for your Monsterarts display, because I have a friend that prefers Monsterarts, and I completely agree with him. Yes, he has been wanting Monsterarts ever. It was a whole completionist idea he wanted to do, and it's his choice to do it. He wants to get Shmo and Scar King, all the Monsterarts that has released in the 13 years this line's been happening, and yeah, it's his choice. He prefers Monsterarts. I prefer Haya. There's nothing wrong with that. I will collect Monsterarts, Anguirus, Scar King. I want Scar King. I want Shmo. Not for 240. Don't worry about that. But I'll get the Haya versions. I'll get Haya Evolved, Haya Shmo, Beast Glove Kong. Even though I'm really happy with this Kong. It's the fact that Haya's another option. Go for it. Go for Haya. Skip all the Monsterarts. There's other options on Monsterarts. Like, Haya has not done Anguirus. Haya hasn't done the... I'm trying to think of once. They haven't done... I'm trying to think. Legion's coming out, which... Let's hope it's not $400. A Burning Godzilla for Monsterarts, which I think looks okay. It's the fact of what y'all want. Now, I had someone like on the comments saying Movie Monster Series is better. I do like this Movie Monster Series Evolved. He looks kind of goofy. I love him. And the point is, get what you want. I'll get Haya and Monsterarts. I won't, like, say, I'm not going to stop collecting Monsterarts. I'm going to be into it until I die, basically. Or whenever I have extra cash. I am very happy that Monsterarts exists, because they're the reason why I got into collecting the high, like the posable figures. Kiryu especially was the one I've always wanted, and now I have him in 2025. 7 years later. Also 2000, he's on this display. But my point is, if I sound like a glazer to Haya, don't think that. I think both companies have their issues, their pros, their cons. Monsters does really good scopes and posability. They do too. They're cheaper. They're expensive. They can come with stuff at times. They don't. It's a 50-50 battle, but the winner is the ones you prefer. I had a friend that preferred the Playmates Scar King over the Monsterarts, and that's completely fine, because I think the Playmates is pretty good. Even though I have two, they're fine. I'm not a big fan of them, but again, his decision, or his preference, not mine. But do I recommend him? If you want to get the Monsterarts, go for it. He's fun to pose. His eyes can suck, his teeth can suck, his toes can be awful. Like, come on, but it's not terrible. There's worse. There's worse Monsterarts in the line than him. Night Combat, well, Boston colored Godzilla, which is supposed to be this, but blue, but of course he's not. You get to sit there. One of these days, Haya Toys will make an not Haya Toys, Monsterarts will make an Energized. And the blue might be better than this. I'm not a big fan of the blue, but it's fine. The point is, do you want to get it? Go ahead. Wait for a deal. Nothing over 150, nothing under. Like, if you can find it for like $100, go for it. It's worth 100. It's not worth 140. If you want to add upgrade heads, go ahead. The world's your oyster. But that's been my look of the SH Monsterarts Evolved. And I hope y'all enjoyed this review. 1 month later. And probably next year, I'll take a look at the SH Monsterarts Kiryu. Or maybe, just maybe, I'll do a little review with the Haya Toys. Y'all will decide. I'll post the poll to see which one y'all would like to see. Thank you for watching, and of course, keep on stomping. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.